Yo guys, this is Avilo here, and I'm bringing you a guide. Yes, that's right. A YouTube guide that you can follow if you want to learn this game quicker. I said I would be making these, so here we go. This first one is going to be a guide to the Terran Reaper expand into 111. I'm just going to queue up here against an easy AI and go through the build and show you guys, basically go through every thought process and what you're going to be hotkeying and all these little things. This guy will, if you're a beginner, if you're advanced, if you're in masters, if you're in bronze league, does not really matter. So start of the game, of course, try and split your workers up as much as possible. And also, I'm even going to mention things like your building placement. You always want to make sure you're walling off your ramp with your first depot. Hotkey it immediately. This is another thing, guys. If you're just learning the game, you got to really get in the habit of hotkeying stuff. So immediately hotkey your depots. You're going to build your gas as your depot is building. So it's gas before barracks. And constant SCV production. That's the other thing. Whenever myself or another player, whenever we say build orders, it's assuming constant SCV production. So the whole time, as I build this barracks at 150 minerals, I'm building SCVs the whole time. And a lot of you guys might be wondering, like, how do I remember this build? You don't. Like, the way that I learn the game, constant worker production, I don't even, like, it's not remembering the builds, it's building as money comes in, so. And then, of course, you're going to send out a scouting SCV. Make sure you hotkey your scouting SCV, that way you can double-click spam to go over to it. And I have my command center on 5, barracks hotkeyed on 6, and yeah. And my scouting worker is on 1. And again, if you're a beginner, you don't really have to do all this, but it is important to, learn the build. So, orbital, once the barracks is done, Reaper immediately, SCV to the minerals at your natural, and as you hit 400 minerals, you're going to build your command center. So, this is the Reaper expand. So hotkey the command center immediately. Now with your next 100 gas, you're gonna build your factory, and keep scouting with the SCV, and build the factory right next to the barracks. And then once your orbital is done, you mule and keep up the SCV production. And once the Reaper is done, once you have 50 gas here, you build your reactor, and then your next 100 minerals, you build your depot, and your next, so again, constant SCVs, your next 75 minerals, your geyser. So again, like, the way at least I learned the game is I don't memorize the builds. I mean, I know them by heart because I've done them so much, but I'm playing the game as money comes in and then using all of that money. It's a more natural way to play the game. You don't have to really remember, this on this supply number, that on that supply number. You just do it as stuff comes in. So you're going to tech lab your factory. You're going to get a starport. Oh, make sure you put guys in gas. Get a starport with your next 100 gas. Rally to your natural. And then you're going to build an orbital at your natural. And hotkey all your production as well. And constant SCVs. Oh, this mule, you're going to actually use on your natural. That way you don't mine out your main too soon. And so now, this is where the build can, deviate. You usually want to build a Cyclone against Protoss, but this is why the 111 is so powerful. It's situational. Like, let's say that my Reaper or my SCV scouted a Stargate, then I'm going to build a Cyclone and a Viking. So I'm just going to show you guys like the anti-Stargate version of this build. So Cyclone, Viking. This depot is for vision in your base. You build it around like 36, 37 supply. Rally. Oh, and also now that I'm saturated on my main, now I rally all to my natural. And so, like, let's say my opponent was going for Stargate. Let's say. Oh, another depot. Another very important not get supply block. Keep up the Marines. And if they went for Oracles or Phoenixes, you're gonna build Cyclone, like, up to like 2 or 3 Cyclones and 2 or 3 Vikings. And this is pretty much, I mean, The build has pretty much been executed at this point. You just saturate your natural. Again, now you can also build siege tanks off your factory. Again, this is, you know, it's going to be that's why this build, every Terran player does this build. It's very adaptable to every situation. So I'm just going to now tech lab this. Now the only thing you have to worry about, of course, is if the guy went Dark Templar. So, you know, get your eBay. I'll also, for anyone that is bronze through diamond, always get a bunker. You actually will need a bunker even earlier on in the game, but it's always worth it to get a bunker no matter what. And the hotkey your main army to 1, Vikings to 2. Get a Raven from your starport. You notice I have enough money for a 3rd CC. So if you're macroing, if you're doing this, and that's the build. That's it. That's actually it. I mean, there you go. So you don't like. Again, every depot you want to use is, you know, to wall off, constant SCVs, and then so that's it, guys. That's the Reaper expand. Now from here, you know, I'll probably I can make another video. You can go into mech. You can put down 2 extra factories. You can do that, and then you'll be going into mech. Or what you can do is throw down 2 extra barracks, and then, you know, go into bio. You can do that. You'll lift off your starport, lift off your factory, make reactors. So that you have reactors for your barracks and stuff. It really depends how you want to play. Your play style, you know, how you want to play the game. But there you have it, guys. So this build, this opener will help you get through. Here, let me actually, I'll just do quit and rewind here so we can go through the build. I'll just go through what I just did. And this is the build. All of you that play Terran, if you're learning the game, you got to learn this build because it's basically this build you can do in every single matchup. Like, you can do it against Zerg, Terran, or Protoss. It's pretty much the Terran standard build. So let's just go through this. So again, the build order, you know, at the start of the game, deep at the ramp. And notice I'm not telling you guys supply numbers. I'm not saying build depot on 10 or 11, build barracks on 12. Like, that's too, you don't, like, to learn StarCraft, you don't want to have to use your memory. You want the game to be natural. You don't want to have to memorize when there, like, specifically memorizing some things is really, really good, but you want to play the game in a way where you are using the income. You're playing fundamentally sound StarCraft, where you're building workers the entire time. You're using the income as it comes in. Like, you're not floating cash, of course. You're not overqueuing in your barracks or your factories or whatever. You don't have 5 units queued up, stuff like that. But notice when I do this, I'm not telling you numbers. I'm telling you, okay, your barracks is is your next building, and this is assuming constant SCV production. And then, so your refinery, barracks, you're gonna the scouting SCV. I'll just speed through this again. Once the barracks is done, immediate orbital command, immediate Reaper SCV to the natural, and then your 400 minerals, you're going to have as your command center. And then your next, you know, once you hit 150 minerals, 100 gas, you're gonna build the factory at your ramp. The Reaper will finish, build the reactor, finish the wall off, get the second gas geyser. And actually, with your next 100 minerals here, you could even build the if you're in bronze through diamond, I would recommend after your factory and your reactor building and your Reapers out, I would recommend 100% of your games bronze through diamond, build the bunker always, no matter what. If you're in Masters or GM, you can get away sometimes. Like, it's situation, like, because Masters and GM players have better scouting and we can react accordingly to, like, oh, I need the bunker or I don't need it. You don't always have to build it. If you're in Masters or GM and you can read the opponent's opening build and you know he's not going for a fast Adept or Stalker or whatever, then you might not need it. But for everyone in Bronze through Diamond, you guys are learning the game, always build the bunker after your factory is started and your reactor is going. You can even leave the Reaper home. You don't have to scout with it. You can scout with your worker instead. So that way, like, if they go for a proxy zealot or something, then you have the Reaper to defend. It really depends. But again, without memorizing supply numbers, Once the factory is done, you're going to build your starport. You're going to put 2 guys in the gas geyser, build your starport of the next 100 gas after the factory is done. I should have actually built the starport before the tech lab here. And then what you do is you build marines constantly out of your barracks. And keep building get the orbital once your natural is done. You can get the bunker. Keep building. And then again, I would recommend if you are bronze through diamond, build a cyclone pretty much always out of your factory, because there's a lot of bronze through diamond Protosses that will go for oracles. This is so you know, building the cyclone will let you defend the first oracle without losing 20 workers and getting an auto loss. Whereas if you build the tank, you know, you'll be safer against like maybe like a ground all in or something. But again, for some reason, most bronze through diamond Protosses will always go for like an oracle because they want to auto win the game. So yeah. And then, so constant marines from your barracks. I'm missing some here, but you get the idea. Constant marines, Viking, cyclone from your factory, and if you want to get the Raven earlier, you can. If you want to build banshees out of your starport, you can tech lab it earlier. You can do that. You don't have to build the Vikings. This is specifically for, and again, guys, remember adaptability. If I scouted the guy going Stargate, I'm going to build Vikings out of my starport and Cyclones out of my factory and keep the marine production going. And that will make it a lot easier to defend, you know, oracles, multiple phoenixes. If I have 3 Vikings and 3 Cyclones, I can deal with 5 phoenixes really, really easily. If I have 2 siege tanks and a Raven and he goes for 5 phoenix off of a Stargate opener, it's going to be tougher to... That's almost like a build order win for him. So that's why, for example, this game I'm saying, if he went for a Stargate, this is how a lot of Terran players in Masters and GM will react. And you guys in Bronze and Diamond can do that too. And then that's pretty much the build. There you go. That's the 1/1/1 Terran opener off of a Reaper expand. Practice it so that you get, you know, you don't miss SCVs and you don't get supply blocked when you open like this. And this will be pretty much the foundation for like all your Terran games. For literally the rest of the time you will ever play StarCraft 2. So, yep, play this build, learn the build. It's the only build. Again, this is the build you have to learn if you're a Terran player. Like there's no not learning this. If you want to play Terran at all, you have to learn this build. Just like there's certain Protoss builds and Zerg builds that you know, as a Zerg player you learn hatchery and then pool, expand into 3 hatch, whatever. Like this is the Terran build you have to learn, and then from there you can learn other builds, but definitely learn this one. And there you go. Thanks for watching. Leave comments in the comment section of the YouTube video, and hopefully this will help any Bronze through Diamond players get, you know, any new players that will get good at the game, or have some, you know, hopefully it'll give you some basis or foundation for getting better. And then yeah, I will release more guides on more specific things like doing this into mech, doing this into Sky Terran, doing this into bio, stuff like that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, peoples. I will see you on stream.